Kunkamsa, Nabalhenge, welcome back to my daily Tezo briefings. I hope you all had a lovely weekend. Without wasting any more time, let's dive straight to the only daily Tibetan Parliament session highlight in English. The seventh session, which is the budget session of the 17th Tibetan Parliament-in-Exile for the fiscal year of 2024 to 2025, scheduled to be held from the 18th to 30th March, commenced at 9:30 this morning. Chaired by the Honorable Speaker, Khyentse Tempela, the session began with his opening remarks, where he addressed the significance of each Tibetan as a political refugee to work on the Tibetan advocacy as enshrined in the Charter of Tibetans in Exile, as mentioned, to endeavor to achieve the common goal of Tibet. So he also added that through the grace and presence of His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama, the Tibetan cause has received the necessary international attention. It is hence critical to enhance on that, considering the geopolitical scenario of the world today. He also highlighted the development transpiring internationally in China and in occupied Tibet. So, as covered in all major news outlets, China's annual meeting of the so-called National People's Congress has concluded without the customary press conference, usually hosted by the Premier of China. This, according to many analysts, is primarily caused by the incessant strict control and growing lack of transparency in the political system under the leadership of Xi Jinping, which is actually affecting the Chinese economy. Honorable Speaker also added that as election season is at peak in India, the US, and European countries, it is crucial timing for us to lobby with the elected democratic leaders to garner support for the cause of Tibet. And as the international community pays its attention on Tibet, China won't be able to ignore Tibet entirely, and so shall the courage and the sacrifices of Tibetans inside Tibet would not go to waste. He also added that while His Holiness the Dalai Lama has stopped paying his visit at the parliament personally or with his official statements since his political dissolution, his blessings, grace, and recognitions are still with us. So when pride and anger and envy and tribulations rule over us, he implied to actually recall the compassion of His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama. Honorable Speaker also introduced the brief agenda of the entire session, which included the report of the Budget Estimate Committee, that's Ngönje Soba Sokchung, as well as a tabling of the report of the Rules and Regulation Review Committee, that's Chitin Gajuki Sindi Sokchung. So you must watch out for that in the coming days. And then, as per the list of business, the official motion on the solidarity on the critical situation inside Tibet was also tabled. So a resolution which has begun since 2008 continues to offer solidarity to the Tibetans inside occupied Tibet. And today about 40 Chitus raised hands for the participation in the deliberation of the resolution, which primarily reiterates the independent history of Tibet as opposed to the claim by Beijing, and emphasizes the gross violations of human rights in the occupied Tibet. Whether it's China's massive colonial boarding school system in Tibet, or the mass DNA collection, or the most recent case of enforced relocation of Tibetans in Derge from their ancestral homes to construct a mega dam, leading to arrests and torture of large number of peaceful protesters in the area. So the members of the House participated in the deliberation, offering their solidarity, various concerns in regards to Tibet and China conflict, appreciation for the passage of HR 533, promoting a resolution on the Tibet-China Dispute Act in the US House, aspirations for the future of Tibet. Several members of the House addressed on the limitations of middle way approach, especially in terms of the lack of China's response in any manner, while some called out the results it has brought about in the past. Some proposed revision of the approach as well. Then, as per the list of business, the incumbent Penchokale of the Department of Finance presented the 2024 to 2025's budget of the Central Tibetan Administration, proposing an amount of 3,331.55 million Indian rupees, which is a rise of 9.81 to last year's fiscal rise of 19.35 to the previous year. So that was followed by the presentation of the Parliament's Budget Estimate Committee's Pressy report, and the motion for debate on the CTA's 2024 to 2025's budget was tabled today. In the end, where about 3G2 raised their concerns and queries. So basically, for tomorrow's session, there will be deliberation by the members of the Tibetan Parliament on the official motion of the solidarity on the critical situation inside Tibet. Secondly, on the debate on the statement by the Finance Minister and the Pressy 2024-25 budget report by the Budget Estimate Committee of the Parliament. And with that, the session today adjourned at 2:36. So that the Tibetan parliamentarians can actually assess this 383-paged report. This was it for today. As I always mentioned, do try and watch the Tuzo live. If not, at least watch it later. If not, you still have my daily Tuzo updates in English. That's it.